Hi, how are you going? This is Gail. This is Radio Hawke's Bay, and it's life coaching of a personal, psychic, intuitive, spiritual factor. We are all of those aspects of ourselves, as I've said before, and we have multi-dimensional aspects to ourselves. You know, they talk about a multi-dimensional universe. They talk about parallel universes, parallel lives that maybe are just a little bit of out of reach for you. But if you think about even yourself as a person, you've got different characters inside you. You have a kind, loving, caring character. You also have one that is very, very critical, that gets affected. You've got many different personalities and characters within you. So September 2025, this is where we are. And September 2025 calls on you to use your higher aspects, your higher mind, the you inside you that knows the best version of yourself, to bring it out in your everyday work life, whatever. And I understand it can be really difficult if you're in a work environment that is toxic, for a word, if there's stress there, if there are people who are not getting on. All of you are struggling with your work, your day, with having to be at work sometimes, and sometimes people don't know how to cope with that, so therefore they kind of fling it at somebody, target it, or throw it at somebody else. There's no excuse for it. It simply is, this is why it happens. It's absolutely not personal to you most of the time. And yet it does affect us personally. So what do you do in a situation where you have a person or people who seem to deliberately be making your life difficult? So on a personal note, this is very difficult to navigate. You may already have a strategy. You might be fine with it. You may ignore it. You may deflect it. You may throw it back. You may just focus on work and not even be concerned too much. And that's great. However you deal with it, are you proud of it? This is what you ask yourself in the month of September. Are you proud of the way that you are handling one-on-one situations, your relationship, all your relationships and any kinds of important relationships? Are you interacting from that side of yourself, which one is the best side, but the side that really wants life to be flowing, balanced, harmonious, where you want your relationships to have lightness and joy and a bit of fun and less seriousness in them, because this is the month where you will be challenged to do that in a lot of different ways. September is a 9-month. 2025 is a 9-year. So we are in a 9-9 aspect. Now 9, there's meanings for every single number, and I think we've talked about this before. 9 is the number of spirituality. It is the number of humanity. It is the number that affects all of us, that ties all of us together at a higher level. So our differences, our stresses with each other are of a lower human form. And we are human, but I'm saying that we interact humanly in ways we're not proud of, in ways we'd rather have done something different, said something different, had a different outcome. And September's your month to actually explore and discover that side of yourself that is high-minded, which just means what is the wise thing to do in this situation? Sometimes it is to say nothing. Sometimes it is to not take it on board when somebody is angry at you or targeting you in any way. Sometimes it is to look beneath the situation, the attack if it's from somebody else, and see what's going on with that individual. Where's that coming from? That's from a place inside that person of stress or distress or just not coping. And I get it that it's not, you might not be concerned about another person, but what I'm saying is September is the month to become a little bit more concerned about another person, what their struggle is, what they're going through, why they are perhaps behaving in a way that is difficult to deal with or to watch even. 9 is the number of your own personal connection with spirituality. So people go to church. You have a religion that gives you a set of beliefs which are higher minded, which are about living in a more graceful, peaceful, honourable way. And if you have a situation in your life at this point in time which is a struggle, which you're not dealing with very well, or a person you're not dealing with, just look at how you would like to be able to deal with it if you had no emotion about it, if you didn't have any thoughts around it as far as labelling it aggressive or attacking or difficult. What would you, if you let go all of those labels, where would you be? What would you be left with? What would you be thinking? Would you be caring as much? Would you attach as much importance to a situation or what a person is doing? So this year of 2025 is all about humanity. It is us claiming and reclaiming our humanity, which we have lost. We have lost through money, power, systems, the machine, the being part of the machine, just doing life, not having life. And this year is about having life again. A lot of you have been through some major, difficult, traumatic upheavals, situations in your life. All of these have been to help you find that perfect you, that real you, that authentic you, not the one that's been moulded by your childhood or society, but the you that is inherently, instinctively who you really want to be in everything you do. There's a deep in every single person, and sometimes, yes, it might be very deeply buried, but sometimes it's right there under the surface, and you want to do better. You want to be better. You want to bring out those good points, good aspects, good characteristics, good actions within yourself, and yet things stop you. And some of the things that stop you is a sense of whether a person deserves your time, whether they deserve you to be kind, whether they have earned that by how they've treated you. And I would just say this is the year to forget all about that as well. This is the year that, in spite of whatever has happened to you. And I know if you've been through a lot of trauma, that side of you is already right there. It's been right there. And it's ready to be incorporated into your everyday life, used in your every action and your every interaction. And please forgive yourself if you find yourself slipping into an old pattern or letting yourself down with the way you deal with things. Simply go, okay, check that. Let's start now and reapproach something or do the next thing in a different way. Mindfulness is something that's been talked about for quite a few years now. Mindfulness and awareness. This is the year you wake up, you open your eyes, you become aware of yourself, your life, the systems in the world as a whole, the earth actually as well, but you become a lot more alive to interacting with what is immediately around you and what you can incorporate to use and help you have a better life, be a better person. And I get it, there's huge challenges out there because a lot of people are not coping. A lot of people are throwing the toys out of the cot and they're throwing them directly at you. Those people need the most empathy in their struggle. It does not condone their behaviour, but it actually is, can you see what is behind the behaviour? That person is frightened. That person is not coping. That person is going through stuff they are not able to deal with. If it was you going through those things, how would you want other people to be with you? Maybe you'd just like them to be a bit patient with you. You know, maybe they'd like you'd like them to cut you a bit of slack. Maybe you'd like them to just ask how you are. Are you okay? Is there something I can help you with? And a lot of people are a lot of us are very independent. We like to kind of do it ourselves. We like to, think we can get through on our own. But you know what? We all need each other. And at the times when you have nothing and no one and no hope, you need any little thing to hold on. So this is a year also and a month where hope and faith and trust, trust yourself to look after yourself in the ways that you attract the people that help you, where you can see other people that are struggling and let them be with their problems, where you can actually look at how you operate. It's a month of letting go. This is a good one. It's not always an easy one. There is an art to this. The art of let go, let it be. Okay? Not forgiving it. If you can forgive it, because you're understanding why it's happening, where it's come from, maybe a part you've played in it. If you can let it go and forgive yourself for any part that you had in that, any part you played in that, for your moment, your inability to have the skills to cope, forgive yourself for whatever that is. If you can forgive yourself, it is much easier to let go of what has been, what has happened. And it's not saying it doesn't matter. It's saying, okay, I gained things through that experience, because you 100% did. Everything you've been through gave you something. You might be able to quickly identify things it gave you that you didn't want. I get it. Can you identify the things that it did give you that helped you, gave you some kind of little benefit in some way, altered things in some sort of favourable way for you, because every single situation, every single time benefits you in some way, and it might be very subtle, but it's up to you to identify that. If you can identify how something has benefited you, what you have gained from it, it might be you've just learned something, you know. You might have got information about something that you needed. It might have been that the change actually brought new people that helped you in your life. It may be that it just gave you a little bit more rest, a little bit more freedom. Whatever you gained, you acknowledge that. Once you acknowledge that, you go, okay, that is done now. That is letting go. That is done now. That has served its purpose. I'm going to take the things that I've gained and I'm going to take them forward with me. I'm going to share them with people. So if you had a bit of kindness from somebody, that's what you share with people. If you had a little bit of freedom, you help somebody realise that freedom is important to them and help them find how they could perhaps have a little bit of space, time for themselves in their lives. There's just such a multitude of things that you gain from an experience that you use for yourself and that you can use to help others and that you can share with others. It makes the world lighter and brighter, because this year is about making your life lighter and brighter. And I get life is heavy, tough, complicated. The lightness comes from seeing what's really going on here, seeing the transformation that has been occurring in your life from where it was to where it will be and where it is becoming being right now. So transformation, big key theme for the last few years. Very intensive. This year we are being called to forget about our own kind of petty problems and look at the bigger picture, look at what's really going on. And everyone in the world is being called to do this. Global leaders are being called to do this in different ways. And there's a whole lot of people in the world throwing things up in the air that are bizarre, that don't make sense, to change our mindset. Because we've been in a groove, we've been going down a particular pathway, and we need to change because it's not working. We all know it's not working. I can remember growing up hearing my parents saying, this doesn't work, this isn't any better than it was before, this doesn't work, why don't they change it? That was around education, it was around politics, it was around religion, it was around just daily, everyday life. I could say the same things today. I can hear the same things today. Change hasn't happened, so this is the year where the seemingly bizarre, nonsensical, senseless, Rubik's Cube aspects of life come into play. Look at the simple things. Look at, food prices. How ridiculous is that? That food should be so expensive and still going up and up and up and up and up. It is bizarre. It does serve a purpose. And so the higher purpose is to teach us how to feed ourselves, teach us how to rely on ourselves for our food sources. And it's not a quick, you can't buy something today, so you have to do it tomorrow. It's not that quick. It's a transitional thing. All the good things happen in a very slow transitional way. The things that happen suddenly in your life, it is because you haven't realised it's not working for you. And so bang, something happens. It breaks. Because then you've got to rebuild it in a different way so that it works better for you. That's any aspect of life. And I'm not necessarily explaining it clearly, but I'm just letting you know. So we have a card in the tarot that is the Hermit. So the Hermit is a card where you go within, you refer to yourself, you listen to yourself for your inner guidance and your inner wisdom. For those of us that know spirit exists, see spirit, people who pass over are still there, they help us. It's a time to kind of sit with yourself and ask questions. Okay? There's many around you in spirit and inside yourself that have those answers for you if you are ready to listen, if you're open to listen. And I just invite you, I know how busy, how loud the world is. I know you have been trained very much to think with this side of your brain. And it's loud. When this side of the brain starts, it doesn't think it ever has to stop. We don't stop it because we're still trying to get it to answer what we're asking it. But if you go within and you sit with a question, and you even could take a pen and paper. If you took that pen in your left hand and just allowed random thoughts, words to come, and if you just did that for 5-10 minutes, that would be enough. You could do it for a lot longer. It's actually a very good exercise to have, because when you take your pen in your left hand, and some of you are already left-handed, but when you take a pen in your left hand and you go to write something, there is a connection that happens between your left hand and your right brain, side of your brain. Your right side of your brain, remember, is to do with where all the knowledge of all the ages is stored in this side of your brain. All your ancestral brain, if you like, all the Akashic records, all of the information you could possibly need to utilize on this earth is stored here. It comes out when you're asleep. That's why dreams are so important, to record them if you can. I will give you the technique again. So, have a little pen and paper under your pillow. When you become aware of dreaming, do not move, do not open your eyes, accept your hand and slip it under the pillow. Take the pen and just, you won't read it. You won't be able to read it. Forget about trying to read it. This is an exercise in training your brain, both sides of your brain, to work together. That's what it's ultimately going to do. But just for the fact of recording the dream, you just write down your dream. You will find that when you do that, you'll still be able to access that dream. That dream will still continue, and you just write things down, very important things, emotions, and houses, water, state of the water, weather, animals, whatever's in the people. Whatever's in the dream, people you know, people you don't know, the situation, the circumstance. You just write down what you get from it, and you don't care. Like, seriously, you're not going to read it, just don't care about it. And then you go back to sleep, and you might do that a couple of times a night. When you wake up in the morning, you might be able to see a word, or you might just see scribble. But when you look at that scribble, if you sit for a moment, that dream will start to kind of like come forward a little bit, surface a little bit, and then you can kind of take a piece or two out of the dream and just add it to what you've written. Then go away for the day, come back at the end of the day, take your pen in the left hand, look at those words again. If something from the dream comes up, just go, what does that mean? And you just write any bizarre thing that comes out. You just write it down. And with your left hand, like, seriously, you'll still be able to read some of that. You'll get better at it. You'll get better at writing when you're asleep. You'll get better, and just with your right hand when you're asleep. or your favoured hand, whatever that is. And then with your left hand, you simply, to decipher it, you just go, well, I don't know, peaches and cream, pumpkins and roses, who knows what that means. But you'll get a sense or a feel of maybe it's referring to something I did yesterday. Just write down whatever comes. Some people can write, honestly, stories. Other people, 3 words. Any 3, doesn't matter. Those will have relevance and meaning. Always date your dream. Always put a date there, because in the months to come, those words that you write down with your left hand at the end of the day about that dream will have a lot more relevance. You'll be really surprised. So, higher mindedness for September, being the best version of yourself. It is that, can you hold your head up high? Can you be proud of how you've dealt with this? Forget the human part of you that wants justification, okay? That wants balance. It's not about that. You are a spiritual being and you have a physical body. And your spiritual being is asking you to pay it attention, please, this year. And it will put you in situations where you are needing to look inside and look at who you really are and what you really want and how you really want to act in the world. So let go of the past, let go of hurts, see what they gave you, forgive yourself for any actions that you have had that you weren't proud of in the past, anything you participated in, let it go. Letting go is a major thing for September. You've got a lot of things to look forward to for September. It is improvements on things that have been happening in the past, and that continuation is for the next 6 months. So things will continue to improve in your life. And on that note, I will leave you with that. Enjoy your life and look at it with more magnified goggles, perhaps, so that you can look at the things that really serve you, are working for you, that you want to incorporate into your day, your life, your relationships. And go to church. If you want, seek your own idea of spirituality. Look at Edgar Tolle on YouTube. There are a lot of spiritual sayings, people, messages. Just invite you to have a little look at those. Any random one that comes to you has meaning for you, deeper meaning than what it looks like. Everything is about deeper meaning. It's all about what you're not seeing. It's all about look deeper, okay? And on that note, I am Gail. If you would like to come to see me for a reading or a session, 027 4166 545 is my number. This is Radio Hawke's Bay, and it has been my pleasure. We are going to continue on the radio, and namaste. Take care for you all on YouTube.